Hello and welcome to the iNews Special Bulletin. I am Tejaswi Nalam. Let's look at the headlines first. AP students stranded in Maharashtra. When will they come home? Police continue to take possession of vehicles. Lockdown violators seem unfazed. Love in the times of coronavirus. Can we keep our relationships alive? The four most devout Hindu pilgrimage destinations open this month, but not for pilgrims. Lockdown turns just over a month old. How much older will it get? And now for the news in detail. The AP government has made special concessions for Ramzan. The government has granted passes to the Imam, the Muazzam and 3 others to continue prayers in the mosque. The others have been ordered to offer prayers from the safety of their homes. The government has also promised supply of uninterrupted power, water and essential items. Shops selling vegetables and fruits will be open till 10 a.m. whereas dry fruit shops will be open in the evening for iftar. Continuing with the news from across the border, students from the Koda Mandal of Nellore left home to attend a training session in Nanded but could not come back home in time. They are now trapped and have received no help from the authorities. They have sought the media's aid to reach the officials in AP to request for help. The Gudur sub-collector has promised to investigate this matter further.
ట్రైనింగ్ క్లాసెస్ అయితే కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయి ఉన్నాయి. కానీ మాకు ఈ వైరస్ వల్ల ఇక్కడ ఇరుక్కోపోయిన దానివల్ల చాలా అంటే చాలా ఇబ్బందిగా ఉందన్న. సో ఇంటికాడ నుంచి కూడా పేరెంట్స్ అనేది తల్లిదండ్రులు చాలా భయపడిపోతున్నారు. సో మాకు ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే వసతి అనేది సరిగ్గా లేదు. సో రూమ్ ఉంటుందే కానీ ఫుడ్ అనేది సరిగ్గా ఉండడం లేదు. నా ఫుడ్ తినలేకపోతున్నాము. గవర్నమెంట్ తరఫున ఏమైనా చిన్న సహాయం అందుతుందంటే గవర్నమెంట్ తరఫు నుంచి కూడా సహాయం అనేది అందలేకపోతుంది. సో మేము కోరుకునేది అంటే ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ నుంచి మమ్మల్ని కొద్దిగా help చేయండి చాలు. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఆంధ్ర.
It's been a month and a little more since we've been locked down at our homes, and the ways in which the lockdown is being handled are as numerous as the number of people there are. While we've all been given very clear instructions from experts, health professionals and even the government on how and what the best way is to make it through the coronavirus pandemic, what's less clear is how our relationships are meant to survive this unprecedented time of stress and quarantine. Couples are finding themselves in an entirely new dynamic where they suddenly have to spend 24 hours a day together, and relationships are feeling the strain. Reports of spike in divorce rates are trickling in from all parts of the world. In India, however, the situation has been taking a slightly odd turn for the worse. Rising complaints about harassment from husbands. In India, women have been traditionally entrusted with the responsibility of the household, and in times like these, maintaining the household is fraught with the responsibility of their regular work and trying to keep everyone at home happy. The result, anger issues from husbands who feel the wives are ignoring them, and that the anger is manifesting itself in the form of domestic violence. The police so far seem to be doing a great job of handling this. Statistics reveal 588 complaints so far, with the police acting on each of these. An online help desk has also been set up where women can disclose and discuss their problems. The police today are also planning to launch a special online program where up to 200 women can directly interact with the police officials. Our advice: please remember, it's easy to take out our stress and frustrations on the people closest to us, and it is easier still when you're cramped together in close quarters. The only way forward is open, non-judgmental communication, which is the key to weathering the storm together. So before we move on, let's have a word with our special correspondent Sahiti Amba, who's online with us to discuss this issue. Let's talk a little more about this issue with our special correspondent Sahiti Amba, who's online with us. Sahiti, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi Sahiti, we've been discussing a very sensitive and a very important issue. It's about staying locked up in times of lockdown and how it was causing a friction between members of the family, be it couples or anything. So, from the perspective of a woman, what is your take on this?
Well, if you're talking about couples, then I think when both of them go to work, they have things happening in their lives. As in, you go to work, you talk to your manager, you have a gossip story at work, and when you come home and your husband asks you, "Honey, how was your day?" you have something to say. But today, when both of them are at home and they're looking at each other while they are working, they have nothing to talk about. And I think this has
I'm sorry for cutting
given
you
way
off.
to a
So you
little
mean
bit
to
of boredom.
say work is what has been keeping them together?
Well, certainly they need some time off for each other and wander around in their own worlds before they come together in the evening. So work certainly has kept them sane. Now without work, you see the problems that we've just now spoken about.
Okay, so what about those who are couples but are not together, who are dating, what about people like those?
Well, I think for couples who are dating, it's an altogether different story. While some people are frustrated because they're together, these people are frustrated because they are not together. They don't get to meet, they don't get to go on a coffee or a date. All they have to do is talk to each other over a phone or maybe a video call. But that can't really replace meeting your loved one in person, can it?
So you mean to say social media is not really all that social? Is that what you're saying?
Social media has certainly made things simpler. It's easy to connect to people, but it can't ever replace meeting a person in person.
Okay, so before we take your leave, what do you have to say about those with children, I mean families living together? Do you think the dynamic is different?
Well, it's certainly very different because children are always hungry, especially when they have nothing to do. I think everybody is hungry, not just children. Usually housewives have to cater to their families either in the morning or in the evening, but now they have to cater to their families all throughout the day, feed them. They are tired. To add to this, we have no housemaids, and that means that they have to clean, sweep, do the laundry and also feed people. I think on one side where people are feeling that they have no work, housewives are overworked, and this is causing a lot of distress in families.
So in the light of this, what do you have to say? This is the last question that I'm going to ask you. What do you have to say about all the celebrities posting on social media about the lockdown?
Well, it's really inspiring to see Junior NTR and other people trying to clean their yard. But the question is, are they really doing it? And are husbands taking the clue? I don't see that happening anywhere.
Let's hope all of us take a cue from that and do something to stress ourselves, to not stress ourselves out. Let's see, let's hope that we have happier times. Thank you, Sahiti, for being here. viewers, looks like adulterators are back in business. While Hyderabad has been witness to its share of nefarious meat mixing, it has been some time since it's hit headlines. The Veterinary Officers Committee, headed by Assistant Director of Livestock Dr. Babu Berry, has been scrutinizing irregularities in the prices of meat and has been carrying out extensive inspections over the past 3 days. These inspections have revealed that several unlicensed meat shops are in operation across Hyderabad, and many of those, along with multiple licensed meat shops, have been resorting to mixing beef with mutton or selling beef in the name of mutton. Of the 62 mutton shops that were inspected, 50 did not have any sort of license. GHMC rules dictate that every shop selling mutton needs a special license. However, these rules are very rarely enforced, and any checks that are taken up are done only perfunctorily. Many report that the practice has been in place for over years. It looks like statistics have foretold the future. All figures point to the fact that the most popular destination post easing of lockdown will be the local courts. Even as we managed to spend a little over a month under lockdown, hundreds of thousands have tried to brave it and breach it. The T police records show close to 150,000 vehicles are in custody. A significant majority of these are naturally two-wheelers. While some areas have seen police resorting to novel measures to crack down on lockdown violators, those whose vehicles have been seized will have no option but to visit local courts before they can get their vehicles back. Looks like Corona has made us all inventive. Government employees and local authorities are coming up with ideas with a twist to battle Corona. One such idea is to transform railway coaches into isolation wards. The South Central Railway has readied 60 coaches to serve as isolation wards. Of the 40 that are fully kitted out, 20 have already been sent to the Nalgonda district. Each coach can house 8 patients and will be manned by 2 medical personnel. In happier times, yesterday would have been the 1-month anniversary of the lockdown. Now, whether we've observed or celebrated it is up to question of people. Now, all sectors of industry have been deeply and adversely affected by the lockdown. However, both scientists and medical experts are dialing in support for the lockdown, saying that this has been the reason behind our country faring better than its counterparts. They say that despite the continued rise in cases, the rate of increase has come down solely because of the lockdown efforts. With the reduced number of deaths and limited increase in the number of positive cases, there is naturally pressure from the industry to start lifting or at least relaxing the lockdown norms. And as tempting as it might sound, experts are warning against such a move, saying that even a small temporary relaxation of the lockdown can undo all the benefits that have accrued so far. While relaxation of the lockdown might not have immediate adverse effects, the longer term impact is what the medical fraternity is concerned about. Continuing, we just have a month more to go before the summer patters into the monsoon season. This is when a lot of people who have been affected by the COVID-19 could experience a relapse. The conditions during the rainy season are also more conducive to the rapid spread of viral infections. Experts therefore suggest not to ease the lockdown in a hurry and are strongly advising against continuing the ban on congregations, even in religious places, till the threat passes. Now, for things that are slightly more religious, Uttarakhand's Chardham Yatra is all set for a low-key opening this year, with pilgrims not being allowed to visit the Himalayan temples of Gangotri, Yamunotri and Kedarnath even as they reopen after a 6-month winter closure. The opening ceremony of these 4 temples is an important event attended by thousands of pilgrims from across the country. But the threat of the spread of coronavirus has cast its shadow on the Yatra this year. The Gangotri and Yamunotri temples will open tomorrow. Kedarnath will open 3 days later on the 29th, with Badrinath reopening on the 15th of May. In compliance with social distancing norms, pilgrims will not be allowed to visit the temples as of now. The temples are open only for a select group of temple committee officials and priests who must perform the rituals at the opening ceremony. Now, in the news about relaxation, the Home Ministry had issued a notification allowing the relaxation of lockdown norms. Shops in the smaller towns and cities have been allowed to operate. However, shops are to reopen with only 50% of their staff. As it remains, shops inside malls and in market complexes are yet to find relief. The relaxation in lockdown restrictions will also not be applicable to hotspots and containment zones. There has, however, been no clarity offered on the opening of restaurants and liquor shops. While states can issue guidelines according to their requirements, sources say discussions are still ongoing. And on to news about entertainment. Movie buffs might just be in for a home-delivered treat, but of the digital kind. Many Telugu film producers are in talks with OTT platforms for releasing their films. Many of these platforms offer interesting features for releasing movies directly to the audience instead of a theatrical release. However, some producers are suggesting to hold the decision till the lockdown is completed on the 7th of May. The short film Amrita Ramam, which was scheduled for release on the 25th of March this year, has been cancelled due to the corona. The filmmaker recently sold the film's digital rights. The film is slated to premiere on ZEE5 on the 29th of this month. Top production house Suresh Productions has acquired the digital theatrical rights of the film. It is also being reported that mega producer Allu Arvind has signed deals with some of the films, the details of which will only be released shortly. The audience seem to be in for an OTT treat.
सीजन है, बहुत ही प्रिडिक्टेबल प्लॉट है। शुरू किया है तो शायद आप
That's all from us for now, but don't go away. We have more news coming up. Stay home, stay tuned, and more importantly, stay safe.